Remember, the YouTube ads feed the ducks. Good morning, everybody. It's June the 13th of the Duck Adventure, and it's about, I think it's like, I don't know, 6:30. I'm a little bit late getting up today. But we have got Chirps in the hatcher, and we've got one for sure pipping through here that I can see. I'm going to show you. I got a shot here through the wire. Right there. And there's a couple others that are just little nicks in the eggs. So just one back there. It's actually on the same tray. And there's one right up here. This one through the plastic is a little harder to see. That one's got a pip through it, so they've started. And it's Friday, so it's day 25 and the ducks are starting. Except that now the pipping's on lower shelves. They're not at the top shelf. Is absolutely nobody's trying to pip out because they're getting cooked. With the fan, everything seems to be working better. The humidity's at 64%, which is 4% higher than it was. I've got it cranked up. It doesn't stop running. It's as much as I can get the unit with the amount of fresh air that I've got going through it. So because I've got all the fresh air vents open. But I'm gonna give them a quick mist. And then we're going to go down to the barn to see how the little ducklings are and how big they are right now. Because they're growing like bad weeds. I can't believe the size of them. They're exploding. It's actually wait to see this. Last night I actually doubled their food capacity. Someone told me, oh, they're starting to eat more. Man, oh man, they're crazy big this morning. All right, let's. Doug's here. Doug, look at this. Dougie's waiting for me to open the gate. Hello, ducks. We're gonna let Dougie in. Get back, Doug. All right. Look at the size of these little things. Holy mackerel! I can't believe they've stripped all the food. Look at this. Doug, do you think the little squeaky toys? I forget which user mentioned that. I wonder if Doug does think they are squeaky toys, but for some reason he doesn't want to touch the squeaky toys. But the goslings, they're growing. They're still going, but they're actually smaller than the ducks are. I'm wondering when they're going to pass in size. Because the goslings are really tiny here. I'll give you a shot here of the goslings. Right, there's one. And he's like a small duck. And then over here, there's the Chinese one. And they're actually shorter than the. Where's the other one here? Where are you? There he is. It's still pretty bad looking. Hasn't got fluffy at all. Taking a long time to get fluffy. So it's, and in this tub over here, I cleaned out the wood chips last night because tomorrow they're actually going to get the floor to run. They're going to get out of the bathtubs because I have to have the bathtubs ready for Saturday night or Sunday morning for the hatch for the new ducklings. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, yes. And they keep trying to jump out. It's so funny. Don't worry, pretty soon we're going to be out of here. You guys are going through lots of food. Their food consumption. Now, I can't even remember what day this is. What are we, day 5, I think it is, since they got moved in here. Monday they got moved in. So, but their food consumption... Oh, now look at this, we're getting attacked. Okay, there's like 15 of them pounding on the camera. Their food consumption has quadrupled. Absolutely quadrupled. I'm now just I'll show you the where is that? Here. I'll first day they ate half of one of these. Last night they ate 2 of them each. So it went from a half of one in the first day they were here to just last night they ate 2 of these full tubs. And this is a you know, a 1 liter, so that'd be like a 1 US quart container of food. So their food consumption. When I feed them this today, actually I'll just throw some food down here, and you can watch them. They should. I made this chloroplast food, a little food tray. They must have just cleaned their trays out, but they're not that hungry. So that's the duckies this morning. So I'm gonna head up and have my coffee, and I'm gonna let the ducks out on the way out. Yesterday we had Doug and I. Doug and I yesterday had to go to the vet for Doug's physiotherapy for his problem, which is, I can't believe it, the limp's gone. But he's getting laser therapy in his shoulder, and it's basically he's got tendonitis of the bicep, which is from his shoulder to his to his knee, which is basically, I'll just show you here. It's this area right here is where Doug was had soft tissue damage from his previous owner. He got hurt last year, and with all the activities he's having here, he's you know, he's made it sore. So they've got this new technology. I've got him on anti-inflammatories, but which I had him on before when he started limping, but it wasn't helping. But this laser, 1 treatment. You know, the girl, I got to go back for 4 treatments over 4 weeks, but I could not. I was skeptical about it, but at 1 single 5-minute treatment, and the next day he was still a little bit limping, but he hasn't limped since. Like, he's been running around the yard, and he's not supposed to be running, which, you know, try to stop Doug from running, but you know, unless I'm going to tie him up, and you know, I reserve that for when he's bad. But he's not limping, and yesterday we went for another treatment, and he, while we were away, something happened here. I don't know what happened, but there was a tuft of feathers with blood, and the ducks are acting really weird. Last night they were all hanging around together, which, you know, everybody knows that the ducks now have fragmented their flock into 3, you know, according to breed. But last night they were all like, I came out at 9:30 to lock the pen up, and they were all around the bathtub. All of them. Every one of the ducks were around the bathtub last night. And nowhere else in the pen, nowhere else, not near the water, not near the food. Cindy and I went on, I said, there's something going on, and Cindy, you know, she even said, like, that's weird. Ducks shouldn't be acting like that. So we've got something came in the yard yesterday and got a duck. That's the only thing that makes any sense, because to have a tuft of feathers with blood on the feathers, there's no other way. You know, the ducks, even if they're fighting, they don't pull out feathers, so there's blood. So, but that was it. There was no other mess in the yard. So Doug and I were gone, you know, so he wasn't doing his job. But and the ducks were out. But I don't know. Maybe we lost the duck yesterday. I don't know. And you know, unless it's a duck that sticks out, you know, one that's been marked, or you know, Mrs. Gimp or Mr. Gimp, you know, I don't know. It wasn't Mr. Gimp. It was white feathers, but. You know, unless we, you know, do a count, I don't know what I've lost. So. But it's a white duck is what I lost, I know that much. So Muscovies will be easy to count, the Pekings, they're a little harder. So anyways, I'm going to feed the ducklings here, and I'm going to have a coffee. Well, we're going to let the duckies out here. See, everybody wants out. They're all waiting at this end of the pen, but last night was really, really strange. But Doug and I, you know, he went all over the yard, actually, when he got home. And he found the spot, and where the spot was, that whatever happened. Doug went nuts. He was smelling like crazy. He followed a trail into the bush. It was, you know, he was seriously interested in what happened. All right, ducks. Now the camera might stop here because it's starting to rain, and the touchscreen doesn't like the rain. Come on out, doggies! Hurry up, it's raining! It's a very fragmented morning rush, I tell you. They come out, not exactly focused. And of course, the Muscovies, they're the last ones here. We got Muscovies over here. Now the camera's getting really wet here. I have to go in. It's this touchscreen. I'm surprised it's not doing something weird. It's completely soaked. It doesn't look like it's raining hard, but it's coming down. We're having this big downpour here the last 2 days. Some like 4 to 6 inches of rain has fallen in the last 48 hours. It's pretty wet here. Oh, the scobies have finally come out. Alright, I'm going to go have my coffee, and then I'm going to come and do egg recon, and we're going to be loading, I think 99% chance we're going to be loading up the incubator today. Hello everybody, it's been raining here non-stop, and it just cleared up finally now, so it's been like 3.5 days of solid rain, but I want to show you here, my social experiment didn't work. The ruins still won't hang around with anybody. They're over here by themselves. The Peking are over here by themselves, and the Muscovies, well, some ruins are hanging with the Muscovies here. They just refuse to hang around with each other. It's a mess. So let's go see the ducklings before I do egg recon, because we're going to be loading up the tray today. Or the egg trays, I should say, we're going to be loading up, because I'm going to have a load today. So let's go down and take a look at the ducklings and take Dougie in to see them. I know I've seen some comments about people saying about Doug and the ducklings, and the ducks have got to get used to Doug. That's the deal. He's a livestock dog. He's going to be herding them, and this is what they do. They subject the the livestock to the dogs, and the dogs are with them. And actually, some farms, actually the dogs live with the livestock, so they get used to it. So the ducklings will get they do a little bit of freak out, but they calm down. Now if Doug was doing something negative, attacking them and stressing them out, I definitely would not be doing this, but he's not doing that. Sticking his head in, sniffing them is about as much stress as me putting my hands in and moving them around. It's the exact same thing. Saying that I'm stressing the ducklings out, I'm going in, I'm stressing the ducklings out. So Doug going in or I'm going in, either one of us going, we're going to stress the ducklings out till they get used to us. That's just the way it is. It's not going to affect them. Last year, the ducklings were around Rocco, and Rocco would eat the ducklings. And he was around them, and they get used to it. As time goes on, and when we move these ducklings out of the swimming pool, and they get into their enclosure, and Doug is actually in the enclosure with them, you're going to see even more. They're like now even the adult ducks now are so used to Doug, like in the egg shack, when the egg shack, the ducks actually walk under his stomach. So, it's just, they have to get used to it, and that's just a fact of life. Hello, everybody! I can't believe how much these little ones go through, but the size. Now, I cleaned this out last night, and they got fresh wood chips last night. But tomorrow they're going to be actually running free in their own section, because they're big enough now. But they're growing, like, it's unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable. I saw it last year. But they go through a lot of water. Just look at them, they're so cute. Little cute things here. Doug's outside right now. Any minute he's going to be scratching on the door. Oh, the gosling's starting to get fluffy. Here, I'll show you. I think I'll zoom in here. Finally starting to get fluff. So that one's getting fluffy. The other one over here, though, is still a little rough looking. Let me get a better shot here. Oh, I got a duck in the way here. I'll go around. Where are you, little thing, yeah? Right there. Still pretty runty looking. And then there's the other one, the Chinese one, right there. Speak of the devil, there he is at the door. Oh, look at him. You know, considering there's, you know, only a day between them, or yeah, a day and a half between them and the ducklings, that I'm blown away. You know, how they're so small, and I know how big they get. You know, the ducklings have definitely got a head start on them when it comes to size. They're so cute. And there's some cute crossbreeds. You know, I guess the 7 days of before I started collecting the eggs, when I had them separated, just wasn't enough. Like that one there, he's definitely a crossbreed. He's got a little bit of a mohawk happening here, actually. Take a look at the top of his head. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what you know, a Rouen and a Peking you know, look like when they're full grown. You know, the black and the white colors. They've slowed down on the food here today for some reason. But if you look at, I'll do an aerial shot here for you just so you can get a visual here of the size of them now compared to what they were like when we first put them in. You know, when I first put them in, you know, there's roughly about 70 birds here, 65 birds per swimming pool, and it's almost full. And when I first put them in here, there wasn't. Oh, there's Doug. All right, well, let him in. He'll just keep banging at the door. Come on, Doug. Come on in. Now this is the only way the ducks can get used to Doug, and that's the whole idea. If you know, Doug is you know, the guardian dog, and you know, as the time goes on, like if you look at here, you know, they're much calmer, and you know, this is the way it has to happen. You know, there's no other way that they can you know, get used to him, and him used to them. That's just the way it is. A lot of, you know, like I said, I've been reading some of the comments, and you know, and I appreciate, you know, the you know, some of the comments rubbing the salt in the wound here on my failure. I always like that. You know, the internet brings out the most miserable people, but I'm trying my best, and you know, I couldn't run a test hatch. That wasn't possible the way things worked here, and you know, I only have a very limited window. I'm not in a year-round climate that I can do free-range ducks. You know, I've got a very short window of opportunity here. I've got, you know, roughly about 4.5 months of good breeding season. You know, that I can free-range the ducks outside, and you know, I can't do you know, a test hatch. And you know, how was I supposed to know that the incubator was going to die? And you know, and I tried to design the hatch the best I could based on, you know, the incubator, reverse engineering as much as possible, and my experiences and everything I've researched. So, you know, but I appreciate the bashers out there, and you know, the support from my followers that, you know, appreciate that I am trying my best. Believe me, I appreciate you guys. I haven't been commenting, and you know, I hope you understand I'm like crazy busy right now, and you know, between these hatches, if I'm not setting up for a hatch, I'm tearing down for a hatch, or I'm setting up for the ducklings. It's been I'm so freaking exhausted. It's unbelievable. I'm wiped right out. I'm going to be glad when this weekend's hatch is over. I think I got a 12-day break before the next one, and the next one's a little one. It's not a big one. I think it's like the Muscovies, one tray of Muscovies. It's not a killer like this has been. So, but you know, look right now. Like, look at this. You know, the ducklings are. Doug's got his head in here, and you know, they're you know, doing less and less. They're more, you know, every day they're getting calmer, and that's what it's all about. If I didn't do this, and the ducks, you know, never got exposed to Doug, I would have, you know, absolute chaos. I would have, you know, full-grown ducks that would be freaked out by Doug, and there would be panics. And I can't have that. I've got to have it so that the ducks are at peace with Doug, and that you know, they associate him as security. And that's the way it has to be. You know, it has to be that when Doug is out there, you know, with the ducks in the flock, that, you know, he can, you know, literally sit down, lay down, you know, amongst them and just relax, and the ducks be around him for safety. And that is, you know, and like right now, the ducks, you know, they know that Doug has just laid down right here. Doug's laying down, and there are the ducks. You know, they came to this end now. They're interested in him. And like, if I wouldn't have done that, you know, expose them right off the bat, and you know, they did a little bit of panicking at first. Nobody got hurt. Absolutely nobody got hurt. I make sure of that. You know, if I saw, you know, ducks getting trampled and crushed, I wouldn't do it. I'd stop.
You know, but I'm a responsible guy here, people, and I don't know if some of you people commenting, you know, thinking I'm not, obviously haven't watched my channel. I take this very serious, animal welfare. You know, I'm an animal lover. You haven't figured that out yet. I might like meat, but you know, I like to make sure animals are treated well. I've got a big soft spot on my body. Big one. I make things a lot harder on me than they need to be, just to make sure the animals are happy. But you know, like Doug is, he's not as curious anymore. He's calmed right down. The ducks have calmed right down. You know, everybody's calm. If I didn't, you know, like I keep harping on this because I read so many comments about, you know, me freaking the ducks out with Doug, and that's the opposite of what I'm doing. I'm treating this just, you know, just like people who, you know, they have the animals live with the you know, with the livestock, except that Doug is not. He lives with me. He just works on the livestock. But you know, look at them. They're so cute. And look at Doug. Like, he's just so. He loves the ducklings. He thinks they're you know, his to protect. I think if anything came in here and was doing anything negative, he'd be all over it. But if you look, like, you know, he's right above the, you know, the pool here, and the ducks are doing nothing. They're calm as could be. And tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to be letting them be free in here, so they're going to have, you know, we're going to put down straw on the floor, and the ducks are going to be, you know, running free in here. And you know, Doug will be in here with them again, and we'll show you how the ducks. Yeah, I'm gonna get Doug laying down, and you know, we'll watch. You know, chances are we're gonna get ducks crawling all over Doug. And actually, when he sees it right there was a duckling on its back stressing out, and Doug got all concerned. So he seems to pick up the stress. You know, because I've seen that before, where the ducks, and you know, they get flipped on their backs and they can't right themselves, and Doug right away is right over to them. He's concerned. I don't know if it's concern as in maybe a possible meal, or just concerned because he senses you know, distress. But if you look how calm they are, you know, they're not panicking like they were you know, a day ago. Every time we come in here, you know, it's better and better. Doug, the wood chip startled him. Doug, no, leave the wood chip alone. He's eating wood chips. What do you got? Yeah, it's a wood chip. Oh, you silly dog. He had a chunk of wood here the other day. There was a big wood chip inside the bag, and you know, he had to have it. Alright, well, I'm going to go collect some eggs, and we're going to load up the incubator. I think it's 4 trays of eggs that I got to use today, so it's full steam ahead. This weekend, I got a good feeling. Of course, I had a good feeling last weekend. Look how it turned out. So I'm going to go collect my eggs, and we'll load the hatcher up. Alright, I've got my next wave of eggs here. I've got, I think it's 100 and, what was it, 187? No, I got, okay, 3 trays is 189, so I'm 185. I got 185 Rouen and Peking eggs, and then I've got Muscovy eggs, which I'm shy. What am I shy here? 9 out of a tray. So I've got 52 Muscovy eggs. I have to stop today collecting and loading in the incubator because we're at day. Well, this is actually day 8, and day 7 is being the rule of thumb that I've read about, that you know, you don't want to go over 7 days. So I'm loading them into the hatcher right now. So, and then we'll be collecting eggs again for another wave. So there's lots of little wave of ducklings this year. All right, let's get these in the unit. So we're trying to keep them all on one shelf, so we keep the dates right. And egg production actually today was, I think it was 38 eggs I got today, so it looks like they're starting to lay again. The amount of feathers in the yard is way down, so it looks like they're getting back into the groove again. But really, you know, I honestly should be putting 6 trays in, not you know, 3 trays, 3 partial trays. We'll take the Muscovy in here. So these partial batches of Muscovies. And we don't even know if these are Muscovy purebreds, but I got a hunch they are, because I have not seen a female Muscovy mounted by a Peking or Rowan yet. Usually they get pounded pretty hard. The females pound them, or the Muscovy drakes intervene. They're really possessive of the females. So, and the fact that they do not hang around. I've seen some big Pekings following them around, but like I said, I've seen the Muscovy put the boots to them as soon as they get too close to their females. So the Muscovy males are being really, really possessive. So that's the next wave of eggs here. And that's it.